Hi there, my dear friends. This is Bob Hatton. This is The Encourager. So glad that you could join me today. Yesterday, we finished our story with Joseph and Mary leaving Nazareth to go to Bethlehem. And it's quite a distance between Nazareth and Bethlehem, 145 kilometers. I suppose that's about 100 miles. And that's quite a distance if you're going to go by foot. Now, they may have taken a donkey with them. We don't know. Maybe a donkey so that Mary could ride on the donkey and that they could take a little bit of luggage with them. Now, even on a donkey, I guess 100 miles to ride on the back of the donkey was quite a feat. And today with the good roads that we have and the good paths, we love to go for walks around this area. We spend a lot of time in the forest and so on, but we have such good trails to walk along. And I guess in those days it wasn't like that. We've got a trail here, and it goes just quite close to us. It's just maybe just 1 kilometer long, and it's called the Donkey's Trail or the Donkey's Path. And apparently in the Middle Ages it was used as a trade route. It seems that the area where we live in here was very marshy. It was very wet ground, and they used to take the ware over the hills, which are just further down the road here, and the donkeys would carry the load, and they would go through the forest. And there's still a little bit of this path there, but I tell you, it's very steep and it's very narrow, and you could easily fall down to one side or the other. And I know when we just walk up this 1 kilometer, when we get to the top, we're absolutely exhausted. And if you've got to go that distance, 145 kilometers, 100 miles on such roads, you'd be exhausted. So anyway, we'll leave Mary and Joseph to travel this difficult way from Nazareth down to Bethlehem. And in the meanwhile, we'll just have a look at what the Bible tells us about Bethlehem. When we look at geography in the Bible, we've got to remember that it is quite important. It wants to say something to us. And the names of the places, they also have a certain significance. And as we look at Bethlehem, at the name of Bethlehem, first of all, it has an Arabic name, and the Arabs call this place, if you're an Arabic speaker, please excuse my the way I pronounce it. I'm probably completely wrong, but it's something like Bethlehem. So something like that would be pronounced Bethlehem in Arabic, and it actually means the house of meat, or the house of the lamb, meaning, lamb meat to eat. And this seems to be very significant. It was a place where shepherds would come, nomadic shepherds would come with their sheep, and they would try to sell them. They would try to sell the lambs in Bethlehem, and the lambs would be taken to Jerusalem, to the temple, where they would be used for the sacrifice. David, of course, he would pasture his lambs, his sheep, just outside Bethlehem. He was a little shepherd boy. Maybe this is where he also sang to his sheep, "The Lord is my shepherd, I will not want," and so on. And it was quite a place where shepherds came to. Now, it is the house of the Lamb. And this is where Jesus was going to be born. And you know what? The first thing that John said when he saw Jesus as an adult, the first thing that he said, his declaration was, "Behold, the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world." Isn't that quite something? And this Jesus, he was going to be the shepherd of Israel, but he was also going to be the king of Israel. Now, the Hebrews, they had a different expression. It seems to me to be very similar, but it is a little bit different. And the Hebrew speakers, they used to call this city, or this village, Bethlehem. Bethlehem, a little bit different than how we pronounce it in English, and it means in Hebrew the house of bread. So we got the house of meat, the house of the lamb, where the Lamb of God would come from, but also the house of bread. And this is where the bread of life would be born. Also another reference to Jesus. And this little baby, he was laid in the manger, which is actually a trough to feed animals. It's somewhere where you can come to get fed and to be satisfied. Jesus is the one who comes to satisfy us with everlasting life. And this seems to be very prophetic. The Hebrew language and the Arabic language, they give us a prophetic indication of who will be born here. Jesus Christ, the Lamb of God and the bread of life. Okay, we'll leave it there, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more. So God bless you. Have a good day. You, Bob Hatton, your encourager.